YouTubers, my peeps. I am coming to you to give you an update. I know I've been missing in action, and that's only because I just simply did not feel like vlogging. Um, Working all day and sometimes going to work out or go walking. I just didn't feel like coming to record. So I want to give an update. Excuse me. I just want to come and give an update in regards to my last appointment with my neurologist. I had an appointment on March 17th, and only thing I had done was a blood pressure check and urinalysis done in office, plus they sent urine off to a lab, and we discussed my lab results from my December visit. December visit. I They discussed my labs, indicating to me that my white blood cell count is good. Um, Keep in mind, I'm on a case study, so the numbers are blind study numbers. So I didn't know what my numbers, my levels were. Excuse me. I didn't know what my levels were, but if they were too low, the lab would have called the neurologist to let them know that my white blood cell count was too low. And I'm looking off because I'm reading my notes. So basically, I had a blood pressure check. It was elevated. My urine came back in office showing I had protein. They sent off some labs, some urine to the lab to have it checked by the lab as well. And then I also had to get 3 refills of my Gilenia, because I go every 3 months on case study to the neurologist. So I get medication, 3 bottles of Gilenia, 3 at a time whenever I go for the visits. I've also learned that I'm nearing the end of my case study. Yes, yes, yes. I'm ready to get off of this thing. I'm ready to just feel like I don't have to go to the doctor that often. By the time I get off the case study, I think I'll be going every 6 months instead of every 3. And I won't be going to see the neuro ophthalmologist. I won't have to go do the pulmonary function lab testing. And I won't be getting the MRI done. I don't think I'll be doing the MRI every 6 months. I think I will only do the MRI once a year unless I have a relapse, and then I will have to do a MRI then. But the point is that once I come off this case study, I won't have to go be poked and prodded, going to all of these appointments as often as I feel like I'm going now, even though I go every 3 months to see the neurologist. But those 3 months, they fly by, and then you have all of these appointments set up that you have to do, and all of the information has to be reported back to the neurologist for documentation. I don't know, just with case study, is just more to it than if you wasn't on case study and you was just going to the doctor as needed, or going to the doctor for your follow-ups and checkups and or whatsoever. So yeah, I'm nearing the end of my case study, which is my last day on the case study is June 9th. And on that day, I have 4 tests to be done. I have to do an MRI. I have to have a skin test done, so I go to a dermatologist for that. And then I have to do the lung test, the pulmonary function test done. And I have to go to the neuro-ophthalmologist to have my eyes checked. And all of this is just to close out the case study and to see if my baseline has changed from when I first done all of these tests in the beginning of the case study. Wow, a year has passed already since I started the case study. A year is about to, well, come June, a year will have passed since my diagnosis, since I've been doing a case study. So yeah, the end of my case study is June 9th. And then on June 10th, I have to go see my neurologist and the case study nurse to do the expanded disability status scale check, where they basically check for any weakness or difficulty in me moving any limbs, if I have any loss of coordination or tremors, if I have any speech problems with swallowing, involuntary eye movement. They'll be checking for any sensory issues like numbness or loss of sensations, as well as bladder, bowel functions. I don't have any problems with bowel functions. Bladder functions, nah. Visual function, and also they'll be checking for mental functions and anything else that they could be concerned with. They'll be doing all of that on the 10th, and after doing all of that, I have to be there for 6 hours like I did in the beginning of my case study, where they got ready to start me on Gilenia, and I had to be at the hospital in the neurologist's office for 6 hours after taking the medication, because the medication could cause your heart rate to drop. And so I have to do that again to start my real medication that is not up under the blind study. So I will actually, they showed me what the pills look like, and I can't remember what it looked like. She showed me the packaging, that's what I would have. And because the pills that I currently take, it's in a pill bottle that, hold on, let me, just a minute. I want to go get the pill bottle. Okay, excuse me. So this is the pill bottle, and it doesn't really have much information on it. It doesn't even tell me the name of the medication. It just has codes on it. And of course, it's the company Novartis. That is the drug company. And but it's and then it has an expiration date of the medication. Excuse me. But anyway, I have to keep this refrigerated because we don't know the dosage, the milligrams of this medication, and because we don't know the milligrams of it or the dosage or whatsoever of it, we don't know if this medication could withstand room temperature. Now, the real medication that I'll be taking will not have to be refrigerated because they do know the daily recommended dosage that I will be getting doesn't need to be refrigerated. But because we don't know what this is, whether it's the full thing or half the dosage, half the daily recommended dosage, or what, we don't know what it is, it has to be refrigerated. So anyway, I'll have to do another 6-hour observation in the neurologist's office, and start my real medication, the real daily recommended dosage of 0.5 milligrams. And so basically they're treating me as I'm taking the medication for the first time, since we don't know what the real dosage is that I'm taking here, or the real milligrams that I'm taking here. So they have to watch me for 6 hours. And let's see. So after I went to that appointment on March 17th, and they were concerned with my blood pressure, they check it 3 times, bite to bite, each time they check it, my blood pressure goes up higher and higher and higher. And they can't ever get a good reading. Like the first reading might be decent, and then the second reading it gets worse, and then the third reading it gets worse. And they check it, to me it seems like they're checking it under a minute apart. And so with my blood pressure being elevated and then protein being in my urine on the March 17th appointment, they referred me to my general practitioner. And I went to see her on March 23rd. And on that same day, the case study nurse wanted me to come back to the neurologist's office for them to be able to get a blood pressure reading themselves, as well as another urine sample. And so when I went to my general practitioner, they did my blood pressure. Blood pressure was perfect. And I took in my own blood pressure cup and machine. And so after they did my blood pressure check, my general practitioner, I used my machine to see if my machine was close to their machine. Well, I had an elevated blood reading on my machine. And when I said that to the nurse, she said I took it too soon after she took it the first time, that you have to wait a few minutes and let the blood flow in your arm relax before you do another blood pressure check. Other than that, you will get an elevated reading. So that explains what was going on at my neurologist's office. And you would think, don't they know that? Don't the nurse know that? Well, so anyway, I had to go back to the neurologist's office. Well, let me back up. The general practitioner, they got a good blood pressure reading. They got a urine sample, and that urine sample showed no protein because I was drinking water like crazy. I was getting my 64 ounces in every day after the March 17th appointment. So that was good news on the 23rd of having a good blood pressure reading and a good urine sample that showed no protein. But my general practitioner still sent urine off to the lab just to make sure. And then I went over to the neurology office and saw the case study nurse. She did my blood pressure, of course. Of course, it was elevated once I got there, but I didn't stress over it. They did another urine sample there for themselves, and in office it was negative for any protein, and then they sent it off to the lab, which the following day I got a phone call from the case study nurse indicating that there was no protein in my urine. So that was good. That was March 23rd. I just went this week on the 13th and had to do another blood pressure check and another urine sample. The urine came back negative for any protein, so that I'm feeling pretty good now. I'm not worried anymore like I was initially, because protein in your urine means that your kidneys is filtering protein into your kidneys. And I don't know if I'm saying this right, but however it is, protein in your urine could mean that you have kidney disease. And that was kind of worrisome to me, and that was another thing that was making me feel like, am I falling apart? Because I just feel like it's too much going on. But so in office, my urine showed negative, no protein. So now my urine samples are coming back saying negative for any protein. And I haven't got the urine sample results for the urine that they sent out of office, but at least in office is showing negative. So basically, that's it as far as doctor appointment updates. But I did want to discuss some symptoms that I've had since I last recorded. I feel like I'm rambling, but I feel like I have a lot to say as well. And anyway, um, symptoms that I've had recently or since the last time I've recorded. I've had some pain in my right thigh, and I know I've mentioned it in a previous video that I've had pain in my right thigh. Um, and that hadn't lasted long like how it did when I first experienced it, but it reminded me that there is an issue, or really reminded me that maybe I'm doing too much. So I try to get rest to keep symptoms down. Um, but I've also been awakened by sharp pain in my leg, my calf area, and that was also on my right leg. And that was very uncomfortable. That was like three stabbing pains in my leg, in my calf, and I didn't know, is it a cramp or is it just pain? I I don't normally cramp up, so I really don't have anything to judge by, but I mean, it wasn't like anything squeezing. I imagine cramping is like a squeezing, crushing type feeling. This was like stabbing. Um, then I had an issue last month. I was at the gym working out, and I really shouldn't have went to the gym because I already wasn't feeling up to it. I was tired, but I was trying to push myself, which was a no-no. But I tried to push myself, and every machine I got on, like I got on the arc machine first, and normally I can do 30 minutes on the arc machine, and I was only able to do 10 minutes, and that was a struggle. I felt like I had sandbags on my legs and that I was just barely going. My mind, I wanted to do like this on the arc machine, but I was like slow motion on it, and I was wondering what is wrong. I know I was tired, but I not to the point of going in slow mode. Um, and then when I got off of that, I felt like, well, let me get on the bicycle, and maybe because I can sit there, I can just ride and be able to just go with the flow like that. It was the same thing. It was like I had sandbags on my legs. And that was just so weird to me. I've never felt that before. And so I pretty much gave up after 10 minutes of that. And I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm just tired. Let me go get a massage because I have the Blight card at Planet Fitness. So let me just go get a massage. And normally I get in, excuse me, normally I get in the massage chair. But this time around, I decided, let me get on the hydro bed since everybody talks good about the hydro bed. The first time I tried it, I didn't like it. I didn't like all that vibration. And this is pre-diagnosing, being pre-diagnosed of MS. Pretty much when the gym first opened and I joined. I tried the hydro bed and I didn't like it. And so I tried it this particular day. I was feeling like I'm tired. At least I can lay down and get a massage on the hydro bed. Well, when I got on the hydro bed, I set the bar directly in my lower back to massage, for it to vibrate and massage my lower back. And I did not realize, and I don't remember from the first time me using the hydro bed over a year ago, I did not remember the bed heating up, and I started getting sick on the bed. The vibration from one made me feel weird, but I still laid there trying to play solitaire on the little computer thing that they have over the bed. But I started feeling weird and from all of the vibration, and then my head started hurting. The bed heating up, and I started getting dizzy, but it wasn't registering to me that I was starting to get overheated. Um, So I laid there, and I think I had 10 minutes total on the hydro bed. But I laid there and was talking to myself like, this don't feel right. But still playing solitaire. And then I stopped playing solitaire and just laid there, getting a massage, but not feeling too well. And then it dawned on me, I'm overheating. And so I shut it off. And when I sat up on the side of the bed, I felt all dizzy. And like I say, my head was hurting me on the hydro bed. It wasn't hurting prior to me getting on the hydro bed, but it started hurting me. I started feeling sick and dizzy. And when I sat up on the side of the bed, the dizziness was surely there. But it wasn't long with me sitting on the side of the bed and catching myself that the headache went away immediately. The dizziness subsided and the sick feeling went away. And I was like, so that is what it feels like when I get overheated. And I like taking hot showers. So a lot of times in the shower, if I get too hot, I feel tired, like if I could just sit down. But it's not that fatigue tired, like how I hear a lot of people say when they get so tired they just want to lay down where they are. But it just makes me want to hurry up and get out of the heat and hurry up and get somewhere and sit down. But yeah, I hadn't had it to do me like that. That was my first real experience of getting overheated and feeling sick like that. So no, I don't like that hydro bed. I just don't like that hydro bed. I'll stick to my massage chair at the gym. So and I think the vibrations of the hydro bed also was a aggravating factor. It probably caused me to have a headache as well as the heat. I don't know. I was just feeling all shook up from all of that vibration that was supposed to be feeling good, and it ended up doing me in. Let's see. Sometimes, not as often as when I first started my Gilenia medication, but sometimes I experience headaches with eye pain. And once I get rest, all of that goes away. So I chalk that up to that I need some extra rest whenever I go to feeling like that with the headache and the eye pain. Last night I had tremors, finger tremor, and I don't know if this is related to MS, but I don't ever recall doing this before me finding out about MS, but it was almost time for me to get up for work. And so I was aware of the time, but you know how you lay there and you try to get your last little bit of time in before it's actually time to hit the floor? Well, I was laying on my stomach with my head turned toward the clock so I can be in and out watching the clock so I won't oversleep. And my finger just started doing this. And then it would stop. And then it would do this again. I can hardly duplicate it, but it was doing something like that. And then it would stop. And then it was doing something like that again. And then I was like, I wonder, what is that? And it was like I was trying not to move and pay attention to, am I really doing that? But yeah, so that was weird because I haven't ever experienced that before. I have experienced leg tremor before in my left leg tremor, and then I've had a right leg tremor, but not with my finger and not waking up with something like that taking place. But yeah, so basically that is it with my updates of my medical appointment update and just symptoms that I've experienced since I've last talked to you all and did a video blog. So I will keep you all posted with any other things that might go on with me that seems to be MS related. I don't truly know if some of the stuff that I am experiencing, if it is all MS related. I mean, I overheated, so, and I had issues from overheating that went away once I cooled down. So I guess that is MS related because heat does aggravate MS or make you feel like you're having a flare, which the only thing that I was familiar with from my first flare that I had when I got overheated was dizziness. That was the only symptom that I remember having when I had my first relapse. But I guess whenever you have relapses, they can come in different forms, you know. My first relapse just happened to be weakness, left side weakness, slurred speech, and dizziness, as well as what I said, weakness, left side weakness, dizziness. My leg felt weird. My left leg felt weird. Um, and slurred speech. And look, it's something else. I can't remember what it was. Because that was a year ago. And hadn't had any relapses since then. So that's a blessing. So I think that's basically it. I'm going to end this video now. And I just want to ask people that are viewing my video to please click like and subscribe to my video. And you all be blessed, and I'll see you soon. Bye.